Hello there, my cousin. I am honored that you asked me to assist you with your pregnancy and the hip and low back issues you're experiencing. I will give you a few different pose options and definitely elaborate further with the link that I sent to you on Messenger. So, one that I would recommend the most for you at this point with the lower back and the hips is a child's pose. So with child's pose, you may have even done this in another exercise class. Your knees will either be together or apart. Not super far apart, but probably I would say about 1.5 feet maybe. And then you'll start to walk your arms down, tapping your forehead to the ground. Bend into both elbows, I recommend, so that you can have a nice relaxed forearm and arm, and hold this posture in yoga, in the teach classes I teach, I refer to breaths. So you breathe into it, because the more you breathe into it, the more you're going to nourish the posture. And while you're in this child's pose, you're going to rock the hips from side to side. So it'll pull it's called the acetabulum. It's basically the ball and socket joint of the hip. So when you open it, when you rock from side to side, you will be opening and closing that joint. All right. And a good way to get into this as well, now I'm saying it this way, you'll bring your knees under the hips. My sweater is blocking your view. Your wrists are right underneath of the shoulders. Something else I recommend highly is cat-cow posture. So you'll inhale, allow the tailbone, you see the tailbone lifts, the crown of the head lifts. And then as you exhale, you'll start to arc and find the reverse of that. So I'll move my scarf out of the way this time. This is like strip yoga. So you're going to exhale, arc through the spine, pull the belly in, and inhale. And notice how my chest dips down between the shoulders and lifts. And then exhale, you pull the belly in as well. This is a great one for labor and delivery as well. You can also do this on the back. Now, the further into your pregnancy you'll get, you're not going to lay on your back. So in the 3rd trimester, start bolstering up, bringing pillows underneath, or even bending into the elbows and relaxing, but for sure don't lay on your back. I think I already talked to you about that. But regardless, I will demonstrate laying on my back just because you want to get a feel for the movement, and because at this point you were able to lay on your back. So it's a cat-cow position. I'm just going to move this up so you can kind of see my pelvic tilt here. So you're going to inhale, press the lower back into the ground, which is going to lift and create an arch in the lower back. So your tailbone and your hips are more rested on the ground. And then you'll exhale into that cat pose. So you're essentially mimicking the movement in the cat-cow. So inhaling, pressing the tailbone into the ground, making that arc through the back, creating that space between the floor and your back, or your bed in the back. And then exhale, press that back into the ground, and then your hips will lift this time. So doing as many repetitions of that as you would like. In the yoga journal, they recommend also Baddha or bound angle. Bound angle is when your soles of the feet connect, your knees wing out to the sides. Sorry, I just heard a weird sound. You'll start to bring pillows underneath of the legs, or you can roll up blankets, clothes, whatever you have. If this is too much on the outer hip or the outside of the thigh, prop it up. Don't be shy. And then you can fold forward. The further forward, you don't want to push it, but essentially folding forward is going to open up the hamstrings, the hip,
Yin is excellent for pregnancy. There's strong long holds, which are really great for increasing flexibility and mobility. So this is Baddha Konasana, bound angle, and you can hold these for upwards of 5 to 30 breaths, but don't think too much about how many breaths, but just truly enjoy each moment in the posture, or try to find that place of comfort in the posture. And this is all going to come with time. When you first do it, of course, it's going to be about the form and the alignment, but with time, you'll be able to focus more on the breath. So also bringing this right sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Inhale, sweep the arms up, shifting your torso to go over this stretched out lengthened leg, and then exhale, fold over this leg. Now, you don't really want to scoop the back. You want to create like a hunchback here. So you'll bend into the leg, perhaps placing a blanket or some sort of prop, or even your foot of the other leg underneath, and then folding. You don't have to touch your knee towards your knee. It's all good. So just resting here, even hanging out in space like this is good. Gravity is taking its toll, even on the lower back. It all feels good. And even dipping the chin towards the chest in any of these postures to take the stress out of the head and the neck and the shoulders. And you'll walk those hands back up, stretching the leg nice and long. So this is a nice wide Konasana, straddle posture. You can walk the hands forward, you can keep upright. That was bothering me. Bend into the opposite knee. I thought my oven was on, so I was like pausing there. I was like, I didn't turn on my oven today, so I hope that it's not on. So you'll bend into the opposite knee, and of course we always have to balance everything out. So inhaling, shifting the weight of the torso or the positioning of the torso over this right leg this time and folding forward. Slowly walking the hands in, lengthening this leg out, closing the legs in together. Bend into the knees, so the knees will point towards the ceiling, and then shift your weight onto a side, bringing yourself back up to tabletop. So another thing here for your hips and your lower back is hip circles. So you'll place your hands and your shins into the ground and the tops of the feet. Really become strip yoga soon. So you'll start to guide your weight forward into the hands, over to the side, and roll it back. So almost like you're in that child's pose that we started with. Inhale, pull your way forward. Exhale, push your way back. And again, the chin can dip down towards the chest, lose control of the head for a little bit. Allow the neck to soften. And then reverse direction. Nice. So, what I would recommend for you to start with is the wide-legged child's pose with the knees out to the sides, like this. And then walking forward, bending into the elbows, resting forearms completely onto the ground. That's number one. The cat-cows with the tabletop. The hip circles, just to get things moving from side to side. Bound angle, which is the connecting of the feet together and folding forward. I was going to suggest something else. Oh, okay, so when you're going to sleep, a great thing that you can try, a great thing you can do, obviously you can't lay on your belly after a certain point. So when you're laying on your back, how we did this, it's called half butterfly, half dragonfly, Janu-Sirsasana. There's a million names for this. It doesn't matter. You're bending into your one knee, bringing the foot to the opposite thigh. So you can do this while you're in bed, and then lay all the way down. And this is awesome. It feels so good on the hip and the thigh, everything related to that. And then, if you fall asleep that way, then beautiful. Doesn't matter if you're imbalanced or not, you're getting sleep. So that's a good start. If you want to incorporate more fitness-based poses, more empowering, more work on the pelvic girdle in order to open up the hips for labor and delivery, we can do some. I can make you something for that as well. I love you very much, and I hope that you are happy and healthy, and so is baby. Namaste.